Hi, this is the Social Jello with Angelo show. My name's Angelo. I'm a social scientist, surfer, martial artist, and a whole lot of other things. Coming to you live from Kasai City, Japan, the Social Jello with Angelo show.
What's up, and welcome to another episode of Social Jello with Angelo. Today I'm here with Kajukenbo France. I saw Kajukenbo France online on Facebook. I really love what Joey Diaz and his father, Luiz Diaz, are doing with their program. I talked to Glenn Fatticelli from KSDI, and he was talking about how they've been working with KSDI for a while. For those of you, if this is your first episode, Kajukenbo is a mixed martial art coming out of Hawaii. And if this is your first episode, I encourage you to stick around at the very end. I have a What is Kajukenbo podcast I did with UFC coach John Hackelman, someone I work with. Shout out to John Hackelman, and a plug for our show that we do every Wednesday, the Live Clean and Fight Dirty podcast. If you're coming from that, thank you for tuning in to Social Jello with Angelo. Now, today, it's a little bit different, and as you notice, my guests haven't said much yet because they are Kajukenbo France, so they speak French, and we have a translator. So they do understand English, but they're gonna be speaking in French. So that's a quick disclaimer for anybody listening. If you speak French, perfect, you'll understand everything that's being said. Personally, I don't speak French, so we're gonna keep it between English and French. And we also have one extra guest that you cannot see on camera named Penelope Smith. Thank you very much, Penelope, for translating in the background. So with all that being said, let's get started. So my first question, how did you guys start your Kajukenbo program in France?
Okay. Bien. We begin in French and translator. Nous avons commencé avec Angèle Garcia en 2000, en l'année 2000.
So they started with Angel Garcia in 2000.
Nous avions déjà, moi j'étais déjà professeur d'autres styles, de Nihon Kenpo, qui est un style issu du Surenji Kenpo.
Okay, so they started with a style that's called Nihon
Kenpo.
Kenpo.
From Surenji Kenpo.
Yeah.
It's the same school, but with another name.
Yeah, Nihon. So for those of you who don't, I can speak Japanese. So Nihon Kenpo literally translates to Japanese Kenpo. And he also mentioned Shaolin Kenpo, but not to be confused with Shaolin Kenpo from America. Because if we're talking about Nihon Kenpo and Shaolin Kenpo, we're talking about, I'm in Japan. I actually know the associations he's talking about. It's a different style of Kenpo that comes from Japan.
But I'm Aikido teacher too.
Oh, okay.
18 ans.
For 18 years, he was a teacher in Aikido.
Je voulais connaître un style qui puisse un petit peu relier toutes mes connaissances martiales et où je pouvais m'exprimer.
So I wanted to learn a style where I could mix all my different styles together to produce something that I really enjoyed.
J'ai commencé par la boxe française, l'aïkido ensuite, le karaté, la boxe thaï et le Nihon Kenpo. Et donc c'est comme ça que je suis arrivé au Kajukenbo avec mon fils. Mon fils m'a suivi depuis le début, depuis qu'il est enfant. Il a suivi tous les styles que j'ai fait.
So I started with
French boxing, Savate, yes.
And then
Aikido,
and then went on to
karate,
and
box Thai.
And then boxing, Thailand boxing.
Yes. And after
and of course,
Nihon Kenpo.
Joe, who was his son, started all this at the same time when he was a very little boy of 5.
Yes.
All right. So just to clean this up, he's talking about Muay Thai kickboxing. Savate, which is actually kickboxing, right? It's a style of kickboxing in France, right? Savate is a French kickboxing style or a European kickboxing style, I think. Dutch, I believe. Savate, yeah.
Thai boxing, yes. Kickboxing, yes.
Yeah. That's actually becoming really. That style of kickboxing is right now picking up in America through a style from a school called Bang Muay Thai. But yeah, so kickboxing, continue.
En fait, lorsque nous avons eu la chance de pouvoir rencontrer notre professeur, nous avons changé.
We were lucky to meet our new trainer,
Angel Garcia.
Angel Garcia, and we continued with him.
Et sommes restés 15 ans avec lui.
We
15
stayed
années.
15 years with him.
Nous avons organisé beaucoup de stages. On prend un peu la parole aussi.
We organized a lot of training sessions with him.
Et nous avons eu une époque formidable d'échanges où nous avons beaucoup appris et avons donc développé le Kajukenbo en France, non sans problème et difficulté parce que ça n'a pas été facile.
So we were very lucky because we had a very good relationship and we were able to develop our martial art here in France, although there were some difficulties, some challenges.
On a eu la chance aussi d'être tous les deux, et c'est ça aussi qui a pu.
And because there were two of them, there's Joe and Luiz.
Yes.
It was easier to build on their new martial art.
Ouais. En fait, notre originalité.
In fact, what is original about Kajukenbo,
about Joe and me, that we work together.
So
yes.
It's a father and son
yes.
Partnership.
And in our life, we work together. In the home, when we eat, when we look TV, we are together. We work. We try.
For Luiz and Joe, it is more than a family thing because they wake up in the morning, it's Kajukenbo. They have lunch, it's Kajukenbo. And they go to bed at night and it's Kajukenbo.
Yes, well, but we don't sleep together. Be careful. Well, he has his life and I have my life with you. Non. Oui, bon, donc après, notre parcours a évolué techniquement parlant et beaucoup de choses, explique ça, beaucoup de choses que nous faisions avant, parce que Joe a pratiqué la boxe thaï aussi, également, dans un team de...
Voilà, ça traduit un peu.
Ouais.
So things developed quickly and we developed a lot. We worked a lot on our new techniques.
C'est-à-dire les choses que nous avions pratiquées avant ont commencé à avoir leurs influences.
Yes, so things that they'd already learnt became influent into Kajukenbo and developed the new style that they have today.
Je peux dire ce qu'il y a bien dans le Kajukenbo, ce qui nous a plu, c'est qu'on a pu s'exprimer. Et le Kajukenbo est un style très ouvert et permet aussi ce développement et cette ouverture d'esprit permet d'avoir un éventail technique très large. Et donc c'est là-dedans aussi qu'on a ça qu'on a.
So because of the various open mind spirit of Kajukenbo, they were able to develop different techniques and it's become a martial art that is very open-minded today, where you can develop different types of boxing and MMA.
And if you don't mind, is it okay if I show a video from your Facebook page that to show? Because I saw this is what really attracted me to your page. It really was an awesome blend of modern evolved martial arts as far as like MMA, kickboxing, and I still saw some of the old school Kajukenbo flavor with some of your punch tricks and stuff. So if you don't mind, would it be okay if I share that video right now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just show everyone because we can tell people all we want, but I really like this video. If you want to find it, it's on Facebook. Hopefully you're not too uncomfortable seeing yourself in the third person, but here's some of the stuff they're doing. You know, they're doing some conditioning. I see some boxing right here. I see some punch tricks right here. I also see some kickboxing right there. Some more punch tricks, some grappling. And so it's like a good. I really like how they're mixing. A lot of people talk about Kajukenbo moving into the future and still not losing its roots. And I really like how you're doing that. And then for the translator, who I know, sorry, I just said all that. I guess I know they do understand some English, but if you want to translate the idea of, I like how I see some old school Kajukenbo in here and some modern techniques, which I really love.
Oui, il aime qu'il y a l'ancien
Oui, oui.
mélangé avec les.
Oui, dis-lui que
C'est ce qu'on essaye de faire, c'est de faire vraiment une jonction entre le travail à la fois de Kajukenbo moderne de self, parce qu'on essaie quand même de moderniser aussi le côté Kajukenbo traditionnel, et de le mixer aussi avec tout un travail de boxing et MMA actuel. En fait.
So Joe says that the idea is to keep the original methods, but mix them in with new, more modern techniques that suit everybody, so that everybody has something that they are good at within Kajukenbo.
Yeah, I really like it. You guys are doing a great job. So for our, and I said I told them off camera, and I'll say to my listeners, we are going to keep this interview as focused as possible because I know how hard it is for the translating, and I am trying to keep it under 30 minutes. So I am going to go to my third question here, or actually, let's go to my second question because you kind of answered it, but we'll get a little more specific. What challenges did you have to face? I know you said you're working together as a team, as a family, but were there any challenges that came up getting your program running and started out there?
Est-ce qu'on a eu des difficultés
Voilà.
Voilà. Puisque c'était un style nouveau en France, ça a été compliqué de se faire connaître. C'est compliqué de se faire connaître.
So, because it's a new style in France that is not as well known as some of the really present styles, it was difficult to make themselves known to the main public. In fact.
Les styles de Kempo en France sont arrivés très tardivement.
Okay. So all the
Kempo
technical style that goes with Kempo came much later than things like karate or judo, etc.
On peut dire, ça fait 25 ans que nous sommes là.
Okay, they've been in progress for 25 years.
C'est ça. Mais nous avons encore beaucoup de gens qui nous disent « Ah, c'est formidable, vous amenez un nouveau style en France. » Et ça fait 25 ans. Donc, la France est un pays où les traditions sont très, très ancrées et c'est très difficile. C'est ça le principal problème, en fait.
So a lot of people, when they discover Kajukenbo, they say, oh, this is great. It's a nice new idea. And Luiz says, no, it's not new. It's been there for 25 years. But here in France, people are very set in their ways, and they're not very experimental. so they don't know, obviously, Kajukenbo.
And I know I said I'd try to avoid saying follow-up questions. So more of this is for my viewers as a follow-up comment. So in France, they finally recognized MMA as a sport in 2020. So that, you know, the whole time before that, they weren't even recognizing MMA as a sport. So that's relatively new. And the idea that these guys have been running their program for 25 years doing, teaching MMA, but France itself wasn't even recognizing it till 2020. MMA was banned in 2016. So I can only imagine with your approaches how hard this must have been for you guys.
Yes,
You have the answer.
Yes. That's the problem. Mais dis-lui que quand on a commencé les Kempo hawaïens et américains, en fait, c'était très difficile parce qu'il y avait une réticence pour ces styles.
So when they started the Hawaiian Kempo style, people were very standoffish because they didn't really know what it was. And I suppose they were a bit frightened, so they didn't want to experiment.
Ouais. Nous avions beaucoup de succès quand nous faisions une démonstration ou quand on nous voyait quelque part, mais les gens avaient du mal à venir.
So there were always people to watch the demonstrations. They had a lot of people who were interested, but people who actually signed up to do it, it was on another line.
Mais le problème en France, c'est qu'il y a un travail très fort, une forte influence.
There's a very strong influence in France.
Des grandes fédérations traditionnelles de judo et de karaté.
Or judo and karate.
Ils sont très, très, très forts. Ils ont fait un travail formidable, hein, vraiment formidable. Comme on dit en français, on say in French, chapeau, very good. It's a good job and very, very, very good. But for the new disciplines, the new arts that are come, it's not possible. It's very hard to find a way. I speak
so the traditional martial arts have always been very, very popular, and a lot of people sign up to do them. But as soon as you have something new that's a little bit mixed or has new techniques, people are a bit, they get a bit wary, and it takes time for them to decide.
Ouais. Maintenant, en France, nous avons un nouveau challenge. Maintenant,
in France, we have a new challenge today.
Because le MMA a mis très longtemps à s'installer, okay? Mais maintenant, tout le monde veut faire du MMA.
So it's taken a long time to become popular, but today MMA is very popular as a sport.
Yes. Alors, je voudrais revenir un petit peu sur ce qu'on a dit à propos de l'ouverture d'esprit, en fait.
I'd like to come back to what we said about being open-minded.
Oui, ce qui nous a plu dans le Kajukenbo, c'est justement que nous voyions une possibilité avec les techniques anciennes.
What we love with Kajukenbo is that we take the old techniques.
Joe et moi, on voyait parfaitement la possibilité de faire la jonction avec ce qui se passe en combat libre.
And we can mix it with the
on voyait bien les passerelles.
And fold it into, what did you say?
Qu'on voyait très bien
la connexion.
There's a connection between the two, and they've managed to make a junction so that it comes together very nicely.
Yeah. But it's not facile, is it?
It's not easy.
It's not easy because on a été obligé de beaucoup réfléchir pour qu'en fait, parce que souvent dans les techniques de self-défense,
We had to do a lot of brainstorming because with the new techniques of self-defense,
yes, peuvent parfois être très figés.
so some of the techniques can be very rigid.
Fixed.
Fixés. And we say, as ce mouvement est comme ça,
This movement is like this movement is like that.
okay. But the problem is not that. Le problème, c'est que the guy come, move, enter, it's not the same thing. You understand? And nous avons essayé de penser à créer quelque chose qui puisse nous permettre.
So we tried to think about
Tu parles de Kajukenbo.
putting in place something that could allow us to.
Et on a créé le Kaju Boxing pour nous permettre de faire ça.
Okay, so this is why they created Kajuboxing, because
yes.
it allowed them to mix in the boxing with the Kajukenbo tradition.
Yes.
Yes.
Ouais.
En fait, je vais l'expliquer que nous, dans notre programme de Kajukenbo, on a intégré tout un programme de boxe.
Okay.
Voilà.
So in our new program of Kajukenbo, we have integrated a whole new program of Kajuboxing.
Mais parle aussi que nous avons intégré des techniques, tu vois, de marteau, etc.
Ouais. En fait, on est en train de développer tout un travail de ce qu'on appelle nous dans le Kajuboxing, mais qui fait une partie intégrante de notre école en fait. En fait, il faut que tu l'expliques qu'on a un programme à part qu'on développe, mais qui rentre et qui permet de...
Qui a une interaction, en fait.
De corréler les techniques de self et les techniques de combat MMA.
Okay. So they've been working on a new program with Kajuboxing, where the techniques allow them to mix it in with some of the techniques that they had for Kajukenbo, but without it being too difficult for the people doing it.
Et pour nous, c'est super important que les gens soient formés sur la partie combat. Que la forme de corps, vraiment, c'est un peu notre...
Forme de corps.
Ouais, c'est vraiment notre
So
dans notre école, c'est important qu'il y ait ce
it's very important that when they start Kajukenbo, they start with the traditional body combat style.
Yes.
And
the boxing.
The
Yes.
boxing is something that joins in with the lessons later on, but you start with the traditional style of combat.
Par exemple, nous avons anciennement, quand nous avons commencé, when we start at the beginning, yes, we see that in Hawaiian Kempo, okay, the sparring, okay, was very, very bad. Il give a punch, il donne un coup de poing. Please, it's not real. The guy can come, no, the guy is, and after, please, it's true, no?
No,
Yes.
it's true. It's true.
And we want to say, on a voulu dire, ben non, c'est pas comme ça.
Yes, they wanted to show with Kajuboxing the reality of boxing and not make it look like a martial art.
And you know, and that's the challenges you're talking about. They're not unique. I mean, I go through this. John Hackelman, Chuck Liddell's coach, goes through this. You know, all of them have this story of, we got this traditional art that we learned that was developed to be cutting edge for its time, in 1948, 47, 46. But now in 2024, with how martial arts just keeps evolving and changing and changing and changing, trying to keep up with that change, we keep hearing that saying along amongst a lot of the coaches and instructors, evolving without losing the roots. But also keep in mind that someone back, like you said, and I talked to Mitch Powell about this. Mitch Powell, the KSDI historian, would talk about how a lot back then it wasn't uncommon that people didn't know how to fight very well, and the punch was like your typical one cowboy punch, and you'd come up with a defense against a cowboy punch. But nowadays people are throwing in low leg kicks, double leg takedowns, single leg takedowns, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. How do we continue to evolve our traditional art to keep up with the modern day fighter? And it sounds like that's something you guys are mulling through, but at the same time, not losing that traditional aspect, not losing those techniques and adapting, right? So
Yes.
C'est que the Kajukenbo is a style of adaptation, you know, and c'est ça qui est intéressant dans le Kaju, c'est que ça s'adapte aussi, ça évolue avec son temps, et c'est important de ne pas perdre ça aussi.
So Kajukenbo is a martial art that can adapt to a lot of things, and as we advance in time, they try to adapt it to new techniques.
On ne peut pas ignorer la modernité, ce n'est pas possible.
Yes, we can't ignore modern day techniques. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
You have to go with your time.
Yeah.
Mais le Kajukenbo, nous pensons que c'est vraiment une discipline qui le permet.
So the discipline of Kajukenbo allows this because it's open-minded.
Si on prend le terme de Kajukenbo, c'est Kajukenbo, for boxing Ken. It's an hybrid martial art, and we are in this mind.
So the actual name Kajukenbo means an adaptation of different martial arts together.
Et nous avons la chance d'avoir, c'est souvent ce que nous disons aux gens qui viennent nous voir, nous avons la chance d'avoir une solide, we have a
very solid background.
Avec une lignée, c'est-à-dire avec une histoire, une vraie histoire, avec une histoire originale, en plus très originale, 5 personnes qui se mettent ensemble pour créer un art, c'est formidable.
The story of Kajukenbo has an actual history that dates back very far to 5 people.
Yes. Qui ont créé cet art martial, c'est une histoire formidable.
Who created this martial art?
You.
When?
Ah, Gwen, le lycée en 40.
En 47, dans les années 47.
In 1947.
Yeah.
So it goes way back.
And then for those of you watching, I do have an interview. Hopefully, if I remember to do this, I'll put a link here to the origins of Kajukenbo. I actually did a podcast with Mitch Powell, the KSDI historian. If you want to learn more about that, we go into a long. We've actually done like 4 or 5, 6 different historical episodes. So if you want to check those out, he's got all the paperwork. You can learn more about that. So before we're done, I promised you 3 questions. I know. I'm sorry. I asked you maybe 6. Sorry. I have one last question. I promise I'll stop with the questions after the last one. So what are your plans now as you move forward with your program out there in France? What are your plans for your Kajukenbo program now? For the future?
Vas-y, je sais pas.
Mais continuer notre chemin et notre...
Yes, ouais. En ce moment, donc on a beaucoup d'idées. Enfin, on n'a jamais stagné. On a toujours été dans une évolution, dans une recherche continuelle.
So they never stopped developing. They've always been doing a lot of research on how they could make a difference, introduce new techniques. So in fact, Kajukenbo is ongoing. It's always in progress of developing because they work together every day, all day. So they've always got new ideas to put in place and set up.
Et comme vous voyez, il y a ici la raison, c'est-à-dire l'homme rationnel and the crazy man. Yes. Yes.
Balance.
Voilà.
It's a good balance. I'm ready. Yes, okay. Yes. And lui tempère,
He's very
organise.
strict and
And-
stable. And
If-
the old man is
Yeah.
very crazy.
Yes, very.
But you need discipline and craziness. I think those are you need.
Yes.
Kajukenbo has a long history.
Good
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
I show you an example. I love a lot practice kenjutsu. I like that. Boken and other weapons.
So
A student want to learn with me weapons. I say, okay, very good in à part.
Another part. En
Yes,
privé,
with
private
private
class.
lessons.
Private class.
private
Okay,
lessons.
private lessons. Okay, I say okay, and I begin with traditional movements, and after he say, we can, on peut faire un combat, we can.
We can have a fight.
Oh, can we spar? Yeah, can we
Yes,
spar?
yes. I say yes. I want, and et dans tous les cours,
In every
every
lesson,
lesson, on fait un combat.
we did a fight.
Ok. Et ça change ma façon de voir le traditionnel.
And that is the way that I change my vision compared to traditional Kajukenbo.
Non, Kajukenbo. Sword.
Oh, traditional sword fighting.
Yes, okay. And this is something for Kajukenbo, okay? Because he say, we can work with a knife. I say, okay. And Kali and knife. And we fight, and it's not the same thing after, you understand? Because he want to enter, he don't want to enter. I'm very angry. Dis-lui, je cherche une façon d'entrer, de bloquer.
I look for a way of blocking or to get in.
Yes. And then change. Alors du coup, je vais voir des écoles de couteaux siciliennes, andalouses.
So I had a look at the Sicilian schools methods and the Andalusi methods.
Yes, and I say to my son, that's very interesting. And he say, yes, Papa, yes. Yes. And after, he think, and il organise. Yes, okay? Yes.
So afterwards, Joe takes the idea and thinks about it more rationally.
Yes. Well, c'est comme ça. Je pense que si j'explique tout ça et si je fais tout ça, si je dis tout ça maintenant,
If this is what I'm telling you today,
c'est pour que vous compreniez, so you understand,
it's so that you understand
comment on travaille.
how we work together.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're always coming in with new innovative ideas, and then your son's trying to figure out how to organize it and implement it into the program in a way that he can introduce to the students. I love it. I really love. I love what you guys are doing. It's awesome.
Parce que très souvent,
Very often.
very often, Joe say, no, Dad, that's not good. You are crazy. And I say, why? I don't understand. And I say, no, keep calm. Yes, okay. Yes. I put my
You take the medicament.
my medicaments, and then after I'm saying, yes, no,
good.
because you understand, Joe, he work, he cherche
He's always looking.
the perfection.
Ah, yes, he's a perfectionist. Joe is a perfectionist.
Yes, a very good perfectionist. But it's crazy for me. It's completely crazy.
It's the opposite. It's the exact opposite of everything.
But
Well,
we are a good.
There's a good balance between
Yes.
them. They make a very good team.
Et on rit beaucoup, dit lui.
And there's a lot of
Voilà,
humor.
on se fait plaisir.
There's a lot of
Et ça, c'est
humor and
important.
laughing.
It's very important because it's a good moment with. I think maybe he's my son. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe. And maybe yes, maybe no.
well, I definitely enjoyed talking to both of you. We are almost out of time, but I do want to say thank you to, and I'm going to list all the names. I want to say thank you to you, Luis Diaz, and thank you to you, Joey Diaz, and thank you to you, Penelope Swift, for translating. Before we do go, if you go to if you look up Kajukenbo France, you will find them on Facebook, and it will direct you to their website here. And it's in French and in English. You can switch it to English and you can read it in English too. See, I just switched it to English. So if you want to check out Kajukenbo France, check out their Facebook page and their website. If you find yourself in the area, you want to train, you can contact them there. If you have a hard time finding that, you can contact me. I know a lot of people do contact me. So if for some reason you're trying to get a hold of them, I can also send you the link so you can contact them. So thank you to both of you. Thank you to Penelope. One of these episodes comes. Oh no, yeah, you're. I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time for doing this, and for my listeners, again, one of these episodes once a week. And if you like what you heard, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you all next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.